One of the days we went to a few places with a wheelchair taxi.
Within Dublin, there's an app called, well, I guess it's probably all Ireland, called Free Now. Where it's kind of like the Uber app where you can call a taxi, and there's an easy place to say you want a wheelchair accessible taxi. So we took that around Dublin.
And I think it was the second wheelchair taxi we used. When I got pushed up the ramp into the back of the car, the hooks that they used to secure the chair on the front end were broken. They weren't working properly. And next thing I know, the whole chair tips backwards and dumps me out onto the ground.
Which actually onto the ramp was
Onto the
actually
ramp, yeah.
Ow. And so part of it is that his wheelchair, on the back of it, there's these anti-tipping things. I had taken them off because some of the shops they were visiting had a step to get in, and if I take them off, I can get him up that step. So, and I hadn't put them back on, which is foolish. I should have put them back on because that would have saved him that spill.
All the people I talked to that have been to Ireland before talked about how nice everyone is.
Yeah, it's true. People were really nice.
When I tumbled out the back of the taxi, there was these two people who were walking by on the way into the President bar.
Yeah, they just ran over and
ran over,
get up, made sure he was okay.
Helped me up, put me in my chair again, and made sure I was okay. They were great.
Yeah, so that was Sunday that we left the Brazen Head bar. And we were taking the taxi over to Trinity College to see the Book of Kells.
Yeah.
Which I had been excited for. I think we both were because we had heard of the Book of Kells. And
I just wish we could have taken a picture of the actual book.
Yeah, so like they do have the actual book, but you're not allowed to take pictures of it. What you are allowed to take pictures of is they have like an exhibit before you see the actual book, with like big blown up
projections.
Yeah, of some of the pages. So we have pictures of that, and they also talk about like the pigments that were used in the book, the style seen in the book, some of the science of like preserving the book. But actually seeing the book, like you can't touch it obviously, so you only get to see the one page it's open to. You can't take a picture of it. But we did get to see a little more of that building because we got to go into some of the staff only sections, since that's where they have like the wheelchair lift and the elevator. So that was cool to see the behind the scenes. And then we took the elevator up to the Long Hall Library, which is 100% like my dream aesthetic. A big, gorgeous library. So beautiful up there.
The Book of Kells is an illuminated manuscript, hand-copied by monks. I don't know what century it was, but
900, I think is what they said. I'll look it up. Keep talking.
But it's written in normal Latin for the Middle Ages, and it has artwork that contains subject matter.
I was close. It was the 9th century, which is the 800s. I was close though. Yeah, but you're right. It has the Vulgate and Vetus Latina. Anyhow, the artwork is really gorgeous inside it.
It has artwork with the mythologies of the local people in Ireland.
But then after that, we went shopping. And I totally remember we went shopping. So Kayla wanted to look for records, and we went to Tower Records on Dawson Street, which is near Trinity College, and got a new Test Bauhaus album. It's actually recorded in 1979, so not new music, but new to us.
But the Bauhaus Bela Lugosi session, they called it. It's basically a couple of different versions of the song Bela Lugosi is Dead, which is Bauhaus' most well-known music.
It had some other songs too. And wasn't it like you play it on the setting for 45s?
Yeah.
So I thought that was
It's
interesting.
called an extended play or an EP. It's 12-inch like an LP, but since you play it at 45 RPM, it spins faster, giving them the ability to have a higher beats per minute on the music if they need or wanted to.
So then across from Tower Records was a bookstore that our tour guide had recommended to us. It was called Hodges Figus. So we checked that out because, of course, I love reading. When we got there, we read the sign. Apparently, it's actually the oldest bookstore in Dublin, so that's cool. I got a couple books, The Cat and The Vinyl Detective. So since it's an older bookstore, we thought, what's the likelihood it'll be wheelchair accessible? But it was. They actually had an elevator, and each floor had some level changes by a couple of steps, but they had like fold out ramps so that we could take the wheelchair up them. So that was fun. And then nearby there was a place called the Chocolate Cafe, so I had to check that out. Got some chocolate, and then we had dinner, and then we were exhausted and had to pack, so alas, that was our last day out exploring Dublin. It was a beautiful city, though. So much history. Would love to go back. In terms of your bucket list, we do have to go back to Ireland. So your 2015 bucket list thing was Dublin, so I guess we can check that off. But your 2019 bucket list was Newgrange, and we did not get to see that. So we will have to go back someday.